It's been an interesting couple of weeks for Oklahoma crops, and Josh, let's talk about the canola and the cold weather.
Well, since the last time we talked about canola, we've had a lot happen. We've gone through those 80-degree days with some nice rainfall, and what we have as a result of this is this crop behind us. The crop's looking really good. It's quite a bit ahead of schedule. We're still looking at a couple weeks ahead of schedule for many parts of the state, and what it ended up is us being this far ahead of schedule in the freeze this last weekend. And there were quite a few areas of the state that were really cold and stayed cold for 20 to 30 hours, which can do a number on canola.
Now, how does canola compare to wheat whenever it does come to cold weather?
Well, since canola is considered indeterminate, which means that it still has a lot of growth left to it, compared to what you're looking at here. If you take a look at this canola plant we have here, we see that we have just a couple of flowers out, we have all these buds, and we have the potential to even put on more buds. And so this is what we're talking about by this indeterminate nature, which means that essentially that it has more buds than it has on it right now. That way, if we froze this entire stalk off, we still have potential to still make a crop.
Now, it's flowering right now across Oklahoma. Is that affecting, or excuse me, is that affected by the cold weather?
It is. The flowers are essentially the most sensitive part, or as we're talking right now, they're the sensitive part that we're worrying about. Depending on what guys across Oklahoma experienced, a lot of times with these really cold weather that stayed there for a couple of hours, we probably lost the flowers that were there at that point in time. However, you see this stalk, if you will, is typical of what most guys are probably seeing. Is if they came out on Monday or Tuesday, these heads were drooped over and they looked like they were just really miserable. But you see now it's Thursday. We've had a couple of days of 70, 80 degree weather. It's perked right back up. The stem is nice and firm. You need to look through the stem to make sure that it's not soft. When we start looking at those soft stems, that's kind of dead tissue, and that's kind of what we're worried about. But we have even the top part of the plant is nice and firm. It's going to keep going again. Now we have the potential for another freeze this weekend, and this kind of trend is what we don't want to see with canola is freezing weather, growing again, freezing weather, growing again, freezing weather. We don't want to see that with canola. We want to see, if we have to go through a freeze at this time of year, one freeze, and then let's get back to growing the crop out. You don't even want to start saying snow or ice storms, but if we can get by without them, we'll be in a good spot.
Okay, thank you much. Josh Lofton, Cropping Systems Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.